She laughs and smiles at her family and friends. Her bright white grin is infectious to those around her. The tattooed giant next to her wraps his arms around her waist and pulls her close. I watch as she leans up on her tippy toes and kisses his jaw. Even over 1,000 meters away, I can sense the love that's between them. I can sense the love between all of them. I line up the shot, my finger not yet on the trigger, and my safety still on. I need to be patient if I'm going to hit the target correctly. I can't mess this up. I won't get a second chance. A man that looks a lot like the one I watched die in the parking garage 3 months ago walks up to the pair. He says something to the blonde that makes her throw her head back and laugh. Even the stoic man at her side cracks a smile. I don't know what they're celebrating tonight, but I watched them set up fireworks over an hour ago. New Year's was last week, so I know it's not that. But there's a happy energy around them. They're excited about something. I check the time on my watch and sigh. It's almost time. I line up the shot in my scope and take a steady breath. Honestly, I could do this in my sleep. I've been a skilled marksman since I was 10. It's a known fact that I don't miss. I always hit what I'm aiming for. The man who'd walked up to them turns around, an easygoing smile on his face. The strands of his dark hair are spiked on his head in disarray, like he's been tugging on it. Something about him draws my attention. I don't know what it is, but it makes me pause. He has a laid-back air about him, but I recognize something of myself in him. He's a hunter. He hides it well, but it's there, just under the surface of his skin. My breath catches in my throat, because suddenly, his bright blue eyes look directly at me, like he can sense me out here. I know it's impossible. I'm almost a mile away, and I'm at a higher elevation than they are. But as if he can see me here on the mountainside, he looks directly at me. I know who he is. I know his face. I know almost everything about him. He's Ransom Weylyn. A slight twinge of pain I've become more and more familiar with fills my chest. He has no idea what's coming. None of them do. I pull my eyes away from the man in my line of sight and focus back on her. None of this is her fault, just like it's not mine. We've both been put in unfortunate situations against our will. Neither of us ever stood a chance, not when Sterling is pulling the strings. The alarm on my watch sounds. I finally switch off the safety on the rifle and place my finger on the trigger. I wait for her to move a foot away from her mate. He isn't the intended target, and for this to work the way I need it to, I need her to be isolated, not huddled against him. As if I had planned it myself, she steps out of her mate's arms and walks across the patio toward the brunette. I have the perfect shot lined up, and on my next exhale of breath, I pull the trigger. The sound of the bullet exiting is muffled thanks to the suppressor I have attached. I barely feel the kickback hitting my shoulder. I've long since been desensitized to that pain. Of any pain. It takes 1 second for the bullet to travel roughly 1,000 yards, but that 1 second feels like forever as I wait for impact. Everything slows down around me. The birds silence in the trees, and the previously windy night stills. I stop breathing, and the blood in my veins stops flowing. For that 1 second, everything is silent. In the scope, I watch as the bullet finds its intended target, and as always, it hits right where I want it to. I would like to say that pulling the trigger is hard, but it's easier than breathing for me. This is my nature. This is who I am. I'm a killer, after all. And today, I'm tasked with killing Pruitt Weylyn. I can't stay and watch what happens down there after I pull the trigger. Instead, I break down my rifle with record-breaking...